Yeah.
All right, we are getting ready for Pro Draft. I want to check in with some predictions before we go in. Wes, who do you think is going to take it?
You know, as much as I talk a big game about, the solo lanes of Casually Reformed, Espresso Depresso has looked so good. They are, such a macro heavy team, which wins these games on its own. The macro skill, even if you didn't have solo lane advantages, but they do in the top lane, as far as we can tell. And so I'm going with Espresso Depresso.
Yeah, likewise, my money's on Espresso Depresso. So far in this league, we've seen nothing like their amount of macro in this game. They're always where they need to be, and they're always together at the exact right time. Espresso Depresso for sure.
So just to keep things interesting, I'm going to go with Casually Reformed for no other reason than that. Before we get to it, let's take a quick...
That's the spirit.
Yeah, thank you to our sponsors, our major sponsors, No Frills, Inland AV, and of course, Red Bull. Thank you for making all this happen. Let's move over to the Pro Draft. We have a bunch of bans already. Silas, Echo, and Fizz coming out for bans for Espresso Depresso, and Vladimir, Yumi, and Olaf for Casually Reformed. Is that Olaf? Is that towards Bahoutot, do we think?
Absolutely. Yeah. They blind picked it. They first picked it in their series last week. And so Casually Reformed, not interested in that. Like we said, Sean does like to play those tanks and those sort of survive until team fights type of champions. And Olaf just does so well into that kind of matchup. Especially early on. So Sejuani coming out for the first pick for Espresso Depresso, very safe jungler. We'll see if there's here's the Ornn, just like we were talking about with Sean's champion pool. So yeah, there's the first pick Ornn there, really strong, and Mordekaiser for Royal. Hell yeah!
I am very much expecting. I love the Mordekaiser pick, but right here they're against RawkZoors. I'm heavily expecting a Malzahar pickup. Malzahar was banned last week in every game because RawkZoors actually does one trick this champion. Casually Reformed opting not to do it, but it also makes sense because we saw RawkZoors last week absolutely pop off on the Vigar as well. Very hard to ban out. He seems to like these utility mid laners, but it looks like he's actually might be keeping his mid lane pick a little bit of a secret instead opting for another tank in the Mundo, and there's the Malzahar.
There it is. Yeah, good call out there, Steph. And yeah, Mundo, like you said, coming out for the matchup up against Ornn. That's really cool. I just, for some reason, I kind of imagine Bahoutot like embodying these, just run at you and heal all over your face champions. And Dr. Mundo definitely fits into that mold, even if it fits in a little bit differently than an Olaf does. But yeah, super tanky on both sides already. I think we want to expect some, very, very high damage hyper carries coming in the second pick phase here.
We don't think I don't think we've seen a Mundo in this in our Manitoba Esports League meta before. How does he fit into a team comp?
Dr. Mundo is like, he is able to scale so well, and he's able to do well in lane. He doesn't provide crowd control, and he doesn't provide a lot of damage in team fights. He's just sort of a huge meatball. Captain Flowers always talks about meatballs in the LCS. Nobody is more of a meatball than Dr. Mundo. And not only that, he does really well into tanks because he's got % health damage. And so with those cleavers. And so he's really able to shred them. He's really able to get an advantage. He'll be able to push in on Ornn, which is really valuable, and likely out damage him in the early stages of the game. So you can definitely see what he's going for.
Cool.
We have the Ezreal ban coming in from Casually Reformed. Now Sivir Lee Sin taken away, so that jungler still not picked for Casually Reformed. Neither have shown any sort of bot lane. There's the Vayne. Actually, Vayne really, really good against Dr. Mundo, who also, another thing to note, he has no gap closer. And so definitely Vayne able to kite him and able to be one of those champions who has the potential to kill him late game, even if he, gets fed or something like that. So I like the Vayne pickup here.
Yeah, Vayne's really, really smart. There's two big tanks, and you need a hyper carry. The other option, of course, Espresso Depresso picking it up would be the Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
But it's Kai'Sa kind of feels bad into Mundo. Mundo very often likes rushing MR, specifically Spirit Visage, and Kai'Sa's passive does magic damage as opposed to the true damage from Vayne's Silver Bolts. So I understand the Vayne pickup. It is a little bit harder to play, and by neither champion is easy at all. So it's going to be on Graham in order to really perform on this Vayne and not look incredibly silly as I say incredibly silly, a Kayne coming, Kayne being picked up, really volatile pick there.
Okay,
You know,
guys.
Wes is so excited about this.
I was a Kayne one trick for like a season and a half, and he just got a huge buff. His Q, which is his bread and butter spell, or it could be his bread and butter spell, was reduced in cooldown by like 2 seconds. And he got instead of a 70% slow on his W, it's a 90% decaying slow. 90% slow at level 1 if you want. It's so insane. And I'm really, really excited to see JaDe come in with this Kayne.
Yeah, should be incredible and should be really strong, especially on a team like Casual Reformed. Their team is a team that really wants to control the lanes, and the other not really as big buff that Kayne got was that he deals 150 damage with his Q to minions now.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so being able to push these lanes like that is going to be super, super strong for Casual Reformed. I think Kayne was a really smart pick.
So now with the draft out of the way, we are going to take a quick break. We need to have the teams get into the client and get this all selected, as well as take our competitive integrity delay. So we're going to take a few minutes of break and come back with Game 1 of Espresso Depresso versus Casually Reformed. Welcome back, folks, to Game 1 of Espresso Depresso versus Casually Reformed. Just as a reminder, my name's Wes, that's Stefano, that's Darren, and we're going to cast this game for you today. On the blue side, we have Espresso Depresso. In the top lane, Bahoutot. In the jungle, Kid Kirito. In the mid lane, RawkZoors. In the bottom lane, Jolopenos with support Karl Dr.
And for Casually Reformed, we have Sean in the top lane, JaDe in the jungle, Royal on his signature Mordekaiser in the mid lane, Grim bot lane, and Zero Urge as a support.
Yeah, like you said, Royal on signature Mordekaiser. Not only that, but Zero Urge becoming sort of a signature pick for him is this Alistar, really, really strong on this pick in lane in particular. So that is the exhaust on the Alistar with the cleanse going onto the Vayne. So they are definitely not interested in getting baited in by any Thresh hooks anytime soon in this lane.
Cleanse is really smart, not only for the Thresh, and obviously doesn't work on the Malzahar ulti, but for the Sejuani as well.
Yeah.
If she decides to camp bot, Cleanse is on a really short cooldown. I think it's only about 2 minutes. It's much better than heal if you're being continually camped. So smart pickup, a little bit of a pessimistic pickup, but a smart pickup nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the power of those two spells, being that those are the two spells, the only two spells where Cleanse is worth using in essence with this team. Of course, Kid Kirito has other ways to stun you, but yeah, like the Cleanse is picked just because of those two things, the Sejuani ultimate and the Thresh hook. So we do see, standard lanes. We had a little bit of an invade, and Kayne did start in the top side. Actually started on the red buff instead of Raptors, which is a path Kayne can take. But actually, here's a gank coming in on the bot lane, but it looks like that one didn't pan out.
Is the auto spectator mode. Auto spectator already knowing better than us, deciding, hey, you know what? That's not going to be anything.
This isn't going to happen.
Let's check out the top lane.
Yeah.
And it seems there's no summoner spells, barely any HP blown, so
I'm not interested in that Sejuani gank. Let's watch Mundo and Ornn hit each other.
Exactly. There is nothing more exciting than wet noodle fights in this game. Nothing.
So, speaking of which, Malzahar, somewhat of a wet noodle until the level 6, of course. Very, very difficult, especially against somebody tanky like a Mordekaiser. Here's the hook coming in through the goalposts for Karl Dr. on that one. But yeah, the Malzahar-Mordekaiser matchup, Malzahar able to push in nicely. You can already see him creating a bit of a wave, although he looks like Royal will get a nice freeze there. But Malzahar will do fine in lane, just a little vulnerable, of course, because no mobility. Only his passive really to protect him, besides that flash available. So, yeah, we'll see how that lane plays out and see if the Sejuani, Kid Kirito on the Sejuani can show up at level 6, which is what you want with the Malzahar to get that kill at level 6 in lane.
Now, I really love this Thresh pick. I'm a bit of a Thresh main, and what's nice with Thresh against Alistar that I just want to point out, and if Karl Dr plays this well, is he he renders Alistar's initiation pretty useless. Because he can flay him out of his W, right? As well as just send Lantern in and pull Kai'Sa out of it. So I really like that pick into this lane.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Here's the, actually, the Alistar able to get onto Karl DR, but huge damage does go down onto the Vayne as well. So everybody's going to be able to get out of that, and Vayne not even having to use the flash there, only the cleanse. But yeah, that was really crazy. I'm not sure exactly how Karl DR got that far up in lane that Zero Urge could W him back into tower range, but somehow manages to survive. He was deep in tower range there, actually.
Yeah.
But a good wave state still here for Espresso.
You saw there one of the very classic Thresh mistakes against Alistar is thinking that you can flay Alistar close to you. You cannot. You have to flay Alistar the heck away from you.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's going to be what you saw there. Alistar quick pulverize into headbutt right under tower. No flash on Karl anymore. So he's got to be a little bit more careful about going for these engages like that.
Yeah, the Vayne cleanse was used, so if a hook does land, that will be very dangerous. But the flash expended, like you say, on Karl DR, which is the more valuable spell in the long run. So, and of course the higher cooldown. So we'll see if they can make anything of that. And like we always say, if that happens, you want some jungle presence there in that lane. That's kind of what you want to follow up on that if a flash is blown. So now. Bahoutot being pushed in a little bit by the Ornn on Sean, and yeah, he is going to be able to get that wave at least to crash into the turret. So we'll see what the itemization is for these top laners. It's hard to imagine exactly what you're trying to do. You know, neither has really any chance of killing each other in lane, barring some sort of big mistake. So. We'll see what they can do with that. Of course, Ornn with the passive able to get ahead a little bit in that respect.
Yeah, for sure. In a top lane like that, both of them are really just looking to wave control and try to get these, get the CS advantage. You can see Bahoutot has a little bit of one, but other than that, it's as you said, it's going to be a little bit of a. I don't want to say boring lane, but it's going to be a little bit of a top lane if you think
it might be a little bit of a top lane. Yeah. Yeah, definitely Mundo has the advantage of being able to farm under tower much easier. The cleaver's on a low cooldown as well as an auto attack reset available to him and able to get those minions. So you can expect, like we said, Bahoutot to get a little bit of a lead in this lane. Definitely Mundo does well into tanks in general with that % health. And with the ability to heal. But here's actually the gank coming in from JaDe. Will be spotted out by a ward, though, and so only is able to clear that out as the Mastery 7 is flashed there. That's a good Thresh main, being able to ward the river.
As Kang would say, minus 20 mental HP for the enemy team. You saw it there. Right. The level 7 Mastery Flash really doing a number on the mental game.
By the way, don't worry, everybody. Kang will be back next week. He's just taken this week off for some prior engagements. So if you're missing Kang, don't worry. You only have to wait a week.
We miss Kang too. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll be okay. We were telling each other off stream that we would be okay, and we believe that. We will be okay. Anyway, so the Rift Herald now being taken out. Actually, Sean wandering around near this Rift Herald, and I'm not sure why. He is not interested in being in that lane currently. I guess he wants to do the roam. Now, both jungler and top laner will go towards the mid lane, and the shield now broken from Malzahar, but here comes the teleport in to dissuade them. Not sure that was necessary, as RawkZoors was pretty much out of that one already when that teleport came down. And not a lot of crowd control currently available. But now the fight comes in again. Karl DR, now with no flash, is able to get away with a little bit of help from Grim there, condemning him not where Grim wanted him to go. So RawkZoors, RawkZoors actually now popping the ultimate. This is a lot of damage here. The damage over time going down. Royal actually does have to flash away. So really nice play there by RawkZoors.
Man, that was a really smart play by the Royal to flash the Meteor. The amount of times I'm sure we've all seen people just die from Meteor after Malzahar or something like that. So I'm not sure if that was intentional, but if it was, good job, Royal. That was actually that was a high level flash.
Definitely some APM required for that one. As Sean also, we can already see. Look at that damage there down onto Sean from just one cleaver of Bahoutot is able to really chunk him and really threaten him. And you can kind of stack those in a way where you get the slow and he's slowed, and so it's easier to hit the next one. This is the power and the annoyance of playing against Dr. Mundo in lane. We do see a little bit of a CS lead got down in the bot lane, which is manifesting itself in an item lead, as well as Jolopenos really just being able to go back and get those items. Vayne going to be able to do the same, but working towards that man immune for the Kai'Sa.
Yep, being able to buy a tier and a pickaxe for Kai'Sa is really big. It's similar for Ezreal. Normally, you're forced to like invest this 800 gold into this item, which doesn't really do anything in lane. But being able to get the pickaxe, it's true that the tier doesn't do anything, but you still have the little bit of extra AD that really helps. Yeah,
the power of coming back to lane with at least a little bit more combat ability than you had before. Definitely a huge thing, a good call out there, because it can be very frustrating. Ezreal in particular, people know who play Ezreal how frustrating it is to get a nice buy, get a good timing, but all you get to buy when you go back is just some mana, which doesn't help you at all in an engagement. So the blue buff now being gifted over to RawkZoors, having gotten that flash away from Royal, now is going to be able to do a nice job of pushing Royal in even further with that lost chapter. Very sustainable mana available to the Malzahar, who also does get it from his E taking down minions. So now the dragon, that said, will actually go down to Casually Reformed, who managed to just sort of get that rotation and managed to track Kid Kirito and know that he was back at the base.
Yeah, smart pickup by them against a team like Espresso Depresso. You really have to take every inch that you can get. They tend not to make a lot of mistakes. As I say that though, Jalapeno's kind of caught out. Thresh lanterns to safety though.
Yeah, nice job though. Not able to get stunned there actually by the Vayne lantern. So good job there by the bot lane.
Yeah, smart play as well, but immediately
no summoners.
Oh yeah,
no summoners used there. So
no, yeah, that just shows how well played. A really smart heads up play by Karl. A lot of Threshes you'll see will go in, try to flay them, try to hook them, but it's not really necessary. All you have to do is back up Kirito.
Now with the ultimate coming in, no flash available, and first blood does go down to RawkZoors. Sorry to cut you off there, Stefano. That is exactly what Malzahar is supposed to do, and so strong paired up with somebody like Kid Kirito on the Sejuani, who's able to stack that CC. Now we have the engagement. Zero Urge already has the ultimate available. Kid Kirito actually going pretty far there. Does take a bunch of tower shots, but really nice play there. You want to combo that Malzahar plus Sejuani. Able to, when the stun is down, that's just more time for your minions, your voidlings to continue to attack the afflicted champion, and huge damage able to be applied there by RawkZoors. Good first blood, and really good start there for Espresso Depresso.
We were talking about how powerful Thresh can be with the lantern. I'm sure Royal there wished he had a lantern. Got ultied and then proceeded to get an AFK warning. Not being able to move for so long can never feel good.
Now here comes the second engagement, and this time their tricks may not be up their sleeve anymore as Jolopenos does go down. Here's RawkZoors with the teleport. Still a 3v2 though, and Karl DR has taken a lot of damage. Grim very low as well. Now he's going to go down. Is he? Now he does go down, but RawkZoors very low, and no chance of him to escape here as Sean did teleport as well. So a really nice rotation coming in there from that Ornn on that side. So they're going to do a nice job of the gank. Meanwhile, though, it is Bahoutot being able to continually apply that pressure and already taking down the first turret, while no other turrets are even below, 3 plates.
We saw there the fruition of the benefits of the play that Sean made and Sean and JaDe made earlier in the mid lane, forcing the TP out of Bahoutot. There, he wasn't able to teleport in for the fight, got punished for that. And we saw RawkZoors seeing there was a fight, teleporting a little bit too late. It's a Malzahar, he didn't have ulti, wasn't really able to affect that much. The only thing he was really able to affect was his own HP and how close he got to 0.
Now Karl DR actually getting engaged on again. May have gone too far. Ultimate available for Kayne. JaDe out of mana, but the Q comes back in. Jolopenos now has gone too far as well. Will Kid Kirito be able to save him? No, not even close. So much damage and a really nice grouping up. Casually Reformed continues to rack up the kills, and really, really nice play by them. They are by far the team that has looked the best against Espresso Depresso so far.
This is exactly what you need to be doing against Espresso Depresso. We've seen them be able to, when they get a lead, they do not let go. You cannot let them get that lead. They still have the gold lead just because of Bahoutot in the top lane having the CS advantage as well.
And hang on, look at him go. This is a huge amount of damage. Bahoutot will not die. Are you kidding me? He still gets the kill. Now finally he goes down after 4 members converge on him, and after already taking down Sean there in the mid lane. What a crazy amount of tankiness coming out from Bahoutot.
Oh yeah, no, he lived for a year and a half, even under tower, as well as under all of Casually Reformed, but I guess that's just the power of Mundo.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like you said, Casually Reformed still doing a really nice job. However, the gold lead is... Okay, Kid Kirito's gone. I don't really know where he went, but he's gone. Jolopenos now has been focused by the Vayne. Jolopenos has gone too far as well. This is becoming a bit of a trend for you this game, and as Grim does manage to pick that one up. So, yeah, huge fights back and forth here. You still do see the gold lead slightly in the favor of Espresso Depresso just because of those lane leads, but that's quickly dissipating as Casually Reformed continue to find picks here.
Yeah, this is very different from what we've seen of Espresso Depresso in the previous weeks. They were always very calm, collected, even when losing. We saw they were still able to not give off many picks. They gave up a lot of objectives, but not any picks. This game seems to be the opposite. Bot lane, a collective 0, 6, and 2 at 15 minutes is really bad for their game plan. They don't have a lot of damage without the Kai'Sa.
Yes.
And more importantly, all of their damage, or not all of it, but the vast majority of it is magic damage against an Ornn is gonna feel really bad if they don't get this Kai'Sa a little bit farther ahead and make sure she can stack that tier as quickly as possible and get her to these 2-3 items.
Yeah, especially once Ornn does complete what we assume will be something along the lines of an Abyssal Mask to really stack that magic resist. Has gone for the Sunfire Cape, very, very standard on Ornn, so powerful with the passive, with all of Ornn's abilities, but definitely going to go for that magic resist, already having those Mercury Treads, and yeah, like you say, that's a really good point, going to be very, very hard to take down once he has been able to stack all that magic resist. You did see... You have seen all 3 outer towers go down in favor of Espresso Depresso, who are also going for this Rift Herald and going to be able to take it down. And they did pick up a dragon as well in that interim there. So Espresso Depresso still managing to find, certain things. They're still managing to actually maintain a gold lead here. But this is, like you said, exactly what people need to be doing against Espresso Depresso is that early aggression, sort of create chaos and don't let them, sit back the way they have been doing in these games and really find their rhythm in that macro mid game. Zero Urge now maybe caught out though. Looks like he is. There's no way for him to survive here. Has to pop the ult, but no way for him to get away. So Zero Urge going to go down. Jolopenos is gifted that kill.
Yeah, smart play. You mentioned it earlier. Oh, as I'm saying that.
Yeah, here's the engage. Ignite goes down onto RawkZoors, actually taking a lot of damage here, but does get the ultimate underneath the tower. But he was in the AoE of the Mordekaiser and goes down during the ultimate. So a really nice play there by Royal. Knew his strength, knew that he could even face tank that Malzahar ultimate with the amount of damage he could output.
Yeah, no, that was kind of a misplay by RawkZoors there. When you see the Mordekaiser, you just have to stay away. You need to throw out the ult instantly. You saw there the AoE damage from the passive NW. It's actually like a good 30-40% of Mordekaiser damage. Yep. It really, really hurts when you get hit by it, and especially when Mordekaiser is 4-1. That's gonna be doing a good 25-30% of your HP as well.
Yeah, this is another case of, just don't give this champion over to Royal. He always seems to take over a game no matter what happens when he plays this champion. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny. The Kayne now has evolved into the Ross there. You saw the knock-up come in from the W. So powerful into this team composition. He's able to just constantly heal, constantly apply that crowd control, constantly use his Q with that reduced cooldown in this patch to, you know, continue to heal. 3-0-1. Kayne is a hyper scaling champion with if he chooses the Rost form, especially against a tanky team like this. So very, very dangerous to see. He's going to go for that Spirit Visage later on in the game, which is so strong against every single member of the team of Espresso Depresso. And I'd be scared against this Vayne Mordekaiser Kayne combo if I was Espresso Depresso.
Yeah, getting behind early for Espresso Depresso and getting these tanks to scale for Casual Reformed means that Espresso Depresso kind of just has to change their game plan now. They normally look to win by 25-30 minutes. We saw out of their entire roster play, there's only one game where they didn't win before 30. But now they're going to have to be forced to go late, you know, really scale up so they can get these high damage characters to actually do something to the King and the Ornn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially the Kai'Sa going to be relied upon there for that late game team fight damage, and it's going to take a long time for Jolopenos to get to that point where he can really present a meaningful threat to those tanks. You do see, though, still the gold lead in favor, although, as we said, it is dwindling, but the gold lead still in favor of Espresso Depresso, able to push down turrets so effectively in the face of all this adversity. So very impressive, actually, there by Espresso Depresso, really still being able to push that advantage. And you saw a 5-stack there, and Casually Reformed just not quite ready to go in, even with all of those, you know, bounties on their heads, even with all those items they've got. Still a little bit scared of this, you know, tanky damage over time style composition that is traveling together for Espresso Depresso.
Yeah, it's where is Espresso Depresso? You just have to guesso. And for now, at this point, Casually Reformed not able to figure out where they are. They've lost. Despite having a huge kill lead, Casually Reformed is now 3 turrets down. And it's almost the opposite of what you normally see. That just shows how strong Espresso Depresso really is at their macro game. Even now, they're all together. They're setting up Vision for Dragon. They're where they need to be. Really good team play by Espresso Depresso. Casually Reformed is really going to have to look to get more picks and get a gold advantage through kills if they're not going to be able to compete with Espresso Depresso on the macro.
Yeah, definitely Espresso Depresso looking for the long pour in this game. And we're going to continue to see those dragons stacking up for the side of Espresso Depresso here. They are able to take down that Ocean Drake next. And now is a good time to mention we do have the Ocean Soul available for whichever team reaches 4 dragons first. And Ocean Soul, more than perhaps ever, is brutal on either one of these teams. I'm just down the line. Every single damage dealing champion benefits heavily from an Ocean Soul here.
Yeah, that's going to be really gross. As I say that,
engage, double knockup goes down to RawkZoors. Definitely not going to be able to get away from this one. JaDe finishes off that kill already, 4-0-1, having that Black Cleaver completed. And now Royal coming in 4v1. Look at this engage from Royal, as is able to take down Jolopenos, and that's all the damage gone. Malzahar, Kai'Sa both taken down, and so an easy chase here from Casually Reformed. Double knockup comes in from Sean, is able to get the ultimate down. Another huge knockup coming down. So much damage already going down. Will they be able to take down the entire team? Bahoutot now will be able to take this Lantern, and will they be able to get away? They will get to the safety of their tower. The hook comes down, but they have no damage to follow up. Actually, JaDe's just going to keep going. He's taking tower hits, but Karl the Argo's down as well. Huge fight. They were able to pick off both carries way early in that fight and just totally steamroll.
So smart by Casually Reformed. They saw the win condition. They said, you know what? We're not winning on towers. We need to get some kills, force some fights, end this game quickly. They saw RawkZoors caught on the mid lane. They went for that. Quickly rotated. Royal was able to buy so much time by ulting the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa obviously 1-3 at the time, wasn't even coming close to killing Royal, but it was able to buy enough time for the rest of Casually Reformed to come in with the collapse. Really strong play, really smart play by Casually Reformed.
Yeah, so nicely done. And they're just able to, you know, once they pick off those carries, they're just able to chase them down infinitely. You know, you saw the really nice knockup stacking going in from the Ornn and the Alistar, as well as Grim, able to almost infinitely chase. So difficult to get away from this Vayne when you're trying to be the one who's running away, since that passive does allow her to move more quickly towards you. And so now Grim is going to be the one who's going to start to get scary. JaDe and Royal were picking up the slack in the early game, and now Grim, with that Blade of the Ruined King completed, is going to start being a real threat to these Espresso Depresso tanks. And since they've gotten to that point so much earlier, as you said, then the Kai'Sa is going to be able to get to it with that Rage Blade not even really close to, well, the Rage Blade kind of in pieces in the inventory right now, and the Blade of the Ruined King already completed on the Vayne. It's going to be so difficult to win team fights of any kind for Espresso Depresso.
Yeah, I think Espresso Depresso, if they want to win this game, they're going to kind of have to keep doing what they've been doing, except do it better. They've gotten a lot of towers, yes, but they've been continually getting picks, getting picked. If they hadn't been picked, this game would have been over 7 minutes ago. It would have been an FF at 15 kind of moment there. So they really have to make sure they don't get picked anymore as they continue through this game. And I'm really expecting to see a Baron play here early by one of these teams. From what we've seen of these teams is neither teams are afraid to go for an objective, to go for a kill, to go for something they want. I'm really expecting them to start prepping Baron, and this will be the fight that likely leads to the end of the game coming up here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it is so devastating to see this, but the QSS now having to be completed on Jolopenos before that Rage Blade comes in. And that's just going to slow Jolopenos down even more to get to this late game potential. So such a slow roll here coming in from Espresso Depresso. And like you say, a Baron play definitely on the table and maybe what Espresso Depresso needs, but currently they just don't do it very quickly. They don't have a lot of damage potential with the Kai'Sa, not being at those item spikes. And Malzahar, without any magic penetration, also kind of finds it somewhat difficult to take down that Baron. And so if they do go for a Baron play, it's just gonna, they have to be so sure that they're gonna be the ones to collect on that Baron buff. Now the dragon about to spawn here. We'll see if perhaps the teams want to wait for that instead. But yeah, we do continue to see a very close gold score here as those CS leads continue to mount for Espresso Depresso, now being able to control those lanes well. So they're doing the right things. Like you say, they just need to do them a little bit better, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. And as we're seeing now, going around, the baby Baron, if you will, the dragon, both teams, they're really looking for this Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul, absolutely disgusting on both teams, as Wes was saying earlier.
Yeah, yeah. If you've ever played a Fed Rost with Ocean Soul, you know what I'm talking about. It is absolutely ridiculous to play. It feels like you can literally 1v5. Now Jolopenos actually already taking a lot of damage, has the brittle on him, but Sean not wanting to flash to engage on that. But the ultimate's coming down onto Royal. Will they be able to take down Royal? This would be huge. Royal healing up so much though. Now RawkZoors caught out. RawkZoors not able to apply enough damage, and he's going to be the one caught out. Now Grim just going ape in the back lane of the entire team, and Royal being able to take down Sejuani on the other side. That is going to be the near ace, actually 4 kills going down. Jolopenos the only one to survive in that situation. And so the Ocean Soul is going to be completely free here for Casually Reformed. A huge fight by them.
Yeah, Espresso Depresso probably living up to their name, a little bit depressed after that one. That shows the flaws in their team comp and what happens when they get behind early with a team like this. If you're gonna put your only damage onto 2 characters, being the Kai'Sa and the Malzahar, you have to make sure those characters are actually doing damage.
Yeah.
The biggest issue here is that we saw for the beginning of the fight, it lasted about 5 to 7 seconds before anyone died, simply because Jalapenos and RawkZoors don't do enough damage to kill anyone just yet by themselves. And
yeah. I mean, you saw it right there.
Yeah, that was a full Malzahar combo, got about 25% off this Ornn.
They can't kill this guy. Yeah. Look at this. It's taking like an hour to kill Sean. Meanwhile, the Baron is going down on the other side of the map. Sean's still surviving. I don't know even if he's going to be able to take him down.
Yeah.
Actually, now the flash comes in from Kirito. Ooh, the hook comes down. That may seal his fate. Malzahar is still trying to catch up, though, and he's going to go in. He does so much. The Baron's going to be finished by the time they take this down. It's harder for them to kill Sean than for the Baron to be killed by the side of Casually Reformed, though I say that they are going to go for the engagement instead. The Baron was not down yet, but Jolopenos goes down as well. Legendary coming in from Royal. Now the kill goes down to JaDe, and they're going to go right back onto the Baron, but the cavalry has arrived. We'll see if there's going to be a fight here. Kid Kirito posturing there, wanting to go in, but no ultimate available. They had to use absolutely everything on Sean before, and it looks like this chase may come in. JaDe running low on mana and kind of doing a stop and run there, or blocking there a little bit, but they're going to choose to push the mid lane. Yeah, exactly. They're going to choose to push the mid lane instead as, oh, actually, maybe Kid Kirito caught out here. JaDe very, very low on mana, though, so we'll see. He may only have 1 Q left in the tank there. And here comes Zero Urge, actually uses his spell on the Malzahar who had the shield. Now Zero Urge in a bit of trouble here. The Malzahar ultimate comes down, but you can see Royal does go down critically to the Kai'Sa burst, and RawkZoors now taking a lot of damage. Vayne here, but no protection left available. And the hook comes down. Cleanse coming in. Here's Sean with the counterplay going in. Zero Urge still in the backline. Now Grim being able to do so much damage. The health bar is super, super low. Vayne flashes in. Grim giving so much damage already. Will Bahoutot be able to finally take him down? He does, and a really back and forth fight there. Hard to tell really who came out ahead, but the defended, if only just barely, by Espresso Depresso. However, as I say that, Sean with full health and full mana going in, but Bahoutot not having any of that. In this 1v1, Ornn does not go down. Ornn goes down, and Mundo does not, as full HP now with Bahoutot having those 2 items completed, and Sean just has to run away. Will he be able to stack this cleaver crowd control down onto him? He's going to keep getting it. Will Sean go back in? It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to, but it takes so long. The ignite goes down onto him, still taking so long. That ignite, that percentage health ticking down. Sean, are you going to go down? Sean, come on, man, get out of there. No, no! And the Ornn goes down after much ado. Oh, wow, that was
Raid Boss is down, Deathwing is dead. They can go back. They can hopefully get some good items from the drops that Ornn just gave them. But oh my goodness, I need to talk about Zero Urge on this Alistar with a 4-man knockup that led perfectly into the Ornn ulti. Talk about clutch. They had the potential to throw the game there, but Zero Urge said, nah, I'm gonna show you why this character should be my signature pick. Gets a 4-man knockup, 4-man pulverize into the Ornn ulti, led to an easy 3v4 victory for Casually Reformed. A lot of misplays on both sides there, but Zero Urge on that Alistar, not one of them. Excellent play.
Oh, the chaos created there by Casually Reformed, causing, like you say, some misplays. And Zero Urge, 2 weeks ago, he was my player to watch for Casually Reformed, and his power pick was the Alistar. Now you can see exactly why. Just able to put down the exact right amount of crowd control there. And you saw him come in from the flank to start off that fight where he got in on the Malzahar to break the shield. So just such a nice play. Royal now with a terrifying set of items. He's got Leandri's Torment with Riley's Crystal Scepter, as well as the Spirit Visage coming in. Almost impossible to kill for this team. So now, while the Baron didn't go down, that fight started at Baron Pit and went all the way down to bottom inhibitor turret and through the base, and that was back to mid turret.
I really feel like Espresso Depresso just doesn't know when to back off fully. Like they keep on trying to save 1 member and losing 3 instead of
they've
just
never had to. Yeah, the first time they've had to back off. Here's another engage coming in. Here's the Ornn ultimate going down. Actually, now Kai'Sa doing a certain amount of damage onto Sean, going pretty low there. Bahoutot in the back line. He has taken a lot of damage. Actually, Vayne will shut him down critically. Now another huge knockup comes in from Zero Urge. He continues to be so powerful on this Alistar. Double kill coming in for Grim. He is a monster now, 8-2 and 6. RawkZoors here in the mid lane, and he's just trying to push the minions. That's all he can do. RawkZoors completely out of the fight here.
That was crazy. Once again, zero urge. And once again, Sean went into 4 of them, then came out with more HP than the rest of Espresso Depresso combined. Sean is unkillable on this Ornn. If nothing else wins them the game, it'll be Sean just by walking up to Espresso Depresso. They need to get this Kai'Sa ahead so she can shred this Ornn.
Oh man, yeah, and the Kai'Sa was doing some damage, got Ornn to about half HP, but you just need to do more than that. You're attacking him for so long, and either the Kai'Sa needs to get on other higher priority targets somehow, or you just need some penetration here. You need to be able to take down this Ornn, and so difficult here. Even with Bahoutot getting a lane lead over him, getting a gold lead, still the Ornn, you can see the power now coming in of those empowered items, having both that Abyssal Mask and Sunfire Cape, or Forge Fire Cape and Infernal Mask, I should say, completed, which are so powerful, so much gold's worth of stats just from the passive of the Ornn.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most underrated things about Ornn is that he provides so many free stats to his team. I brought up last week, it's like the opposite of the Skarner tax. Instead of forcing the enemy to pay money just because you picked a champion, you give your team free money just because you picked a champion. It's really strong, especially you'll see it now on the on Grim, on the Vayne, the extra Bork, as both AD and attack speed, if I remember correctly. Now that's going to be a scary Vayne. It doesn't really matter how tanky you are as Mundo, she is going to shred you so quick.
Yeah, now so many huge items completed on the side of Casually Reformed. And they just need some sort of pick here, do Espresso Depresso. They cannot fight 5v5. They can't even come close. Here's Royal, actually did throw the ultimate down onto Kid Kirito, and that is his way of getting him out of the Baron pit. Red team has slain Baron Nashor here as Kayne does go in now, and they're going for the crowd control, but actually disengage looks like it will happen from Espresso Depresso. No, Royal wants to go in, takes the blast cone over, huge amount of damage. Now he's in 1v3. Kai'Sa doing a lot of damage to him, but not quite enough. Now Jolopenos has to back off. Royal has taken down Sejuani, and so JaDe going in now. Now Grim taking down Kai'Sa there as Bahoutot and Sean just wail away at each other in the top lane, but actually Bahoutot just wants to take down this inhibitor and looks like he will manage to do so right before he goes down. The hero play from Bahoutot potentially to keep this game alive.
Questionable, or I want to say even questionable call by Bahoutot. He had teleport, but didn't end up going for the fight as soon as he sees the Ornn teleport.
I say that they're ace. This game is over.
Yeah, the game's done. Bahoutot deciding that teleport is more important than his Nexus. We're gonna have to check the math to see if that does line up. But yeah, definitely a questionable play by Bahoutot.
Yeah, I need Mark Z to make a 20-minute video with graphs and spreadsheets to tell me whether that was the correct play. But we do see Casually Reformed going up 1-0 against Espresso Depresso, handing them one of their first losses and definitely being the most successful against Espresso Depresso we've seen so far. We're going to take a quick break before we get into the pro draft for Game 2. Don't go anywhere.